find your calm and stay poised. You're not late, you're right on cue. Every fit skill looks good on you. So light it up, get glow through the doubt. Even discount dreams can still work out. We rise, rewind, and do it again. Off-brand hearts still find their zen. Make it worth the wilderness. Take your time. Even chaos can fall in line. Make it worth your wilderness. Make it yours. We're all just healing in synth-wave chords.
Most of us like the idea of being kind. That is until it actually requires effort, time, or talking to strangers. And somehow, the things we should know would make us feel better are the exact things we keep putting off. Welcome back to Bargain Brand Wellness. Tonight, we're unpacking why kindness sounds simple, but rarely sticks. And why doing a little bit here and a little bit there doesn't actually move the needle. This episode is about understanding why our brains quietly resist being nice. So grab your homemade greeting cards and get ready to change the world. Welcome to Wellness. Welcome back, my wellness warriors, my self-care connoisseurs, my off-brand VIPs. We've got another fun episode for you tonight. Welcome to Bargain Brand Wellness, our After Dark episodes. We're here ready. We're having a grand old time. Super excited to have y'all here. As you can see, we have our new merch. I didn't say anything about it before. If you've been watching some of my recent Cold Hard Truth short form videos I've been putting out, you may have saw this make an appearance in one of the videos. But yeah, we have our Bargain Brand Wellness hats. I only did the one style, the trucker style. It turned out really well. I kind of redid the logo a little bit. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but I kind of used our banner, and then I kind of just redid the font a little bit to give it a little bit more pop. They'll be up. I didn't get a chance to enter them today, but here after we finish either tonight or tomorrow, I'll be adding them to the order form. So if you want a hat, by all means get on there and get them. I do need to check Printful. Once again, just like with the t-shirts, we're not looking to make a lot of money off of them. $1, $2 tops. So I just have to look to see how much they charge me. And then I upcharge, like I said, like $1 or $2 just to make sure that I'm not losing any money on it. But yeah, the hats turned out really well. I've been very happy with all the products we've gotten from Printful thus far. Our Make It Worth Your Wellness t-shirts, which you can also get on sale. You can find links over in the YouTube description or on our Patreon. And then we have our limited edition self-care on clearance t-shirts you can also find over there as well. Those are on the order forms. They're the same price as the Make It Worth Your Wellness t-shirts. So speaking of Patreon, we do have a Patreon. You can go over there, join. I don't know if Patreon's really your thing. I'll be honest, before I did this show, I hadn't really messed around with Patreon. There's a free membership over there. You go over there, become a wellness warrior. Go over there, join for free. We don't use it a lot, but as we're growing, we'll start using stuff within Patreon a little bit more. But one benefit you definitely get out of that, and this is the free membership, is you get your name every month thrown in the wellness jar for a chance to win Bargain Brand Wellness merch. Typically, it'll be our Make It Worth Your Wellness t-shirt, but at other times it might be our limited edition t-shirt. It may be our hat, depending on who it is and maybe what they've received already. So head on over to Patreon, become a wellness warrior. You have the chance to win free merch. Bargain Brand Wellness is also partnered with Dude Wipes for all your fresh and clean needs. Get your Dude Wipes, especially when you need to do the doo-doo. And with that being said, since we are partnered with Dude Wipes, they send us free Dude Wipes I guess it's every month. The last shipment I had to remind them. So I guess we'll see if I have to remind them again. All I have to do is make a video every time I get a shipment, but we'll see. But anyway, since they send us free Dude Wipes, we're giving away free Dude Wipes. When we beat our challenges, hopefully every week, we'll do an additional drawing from the wellness jar. We only have one left. We have our Minute Cryptic. It's the only one we didn't get. I did change it because sometimes that's a little bit difficult. Instead of 1 hint or less, it just has to be under par. So if it's a par 3, we have to get it in 2 hints or less. So we'll kind of, once again, we'll kind of shift that around as we need to. Even though we didn't go live Wednesday, I did do the Minute Cryptic over the last couple days. I had recorded it to post just in case we beat the challenge. We didn't. I had to go par or over on a lot of them. Some of them were kind of difficult, but clever once you got them. So you'll notice, you might be able to hear, there seems to be a lot in here. And our channel's not that big. Well, you know, just by being here and engaging with us, you have a chance to win an additional Wellness Warrior of the Day badge. And every time you win one of those, your name gets thrown in that jar. So you have the potential. We go live 10, 12 times a month. You have the potential of getting a lot of your name thrown in that jar, which is even more chance of winning some merch. So you got to hang out here with us if you want to do that. And we get it. You know, people got busy schedules. You don't have to be here all day, all night. We give it to the top 3 people on YouTube and the top 3 people on TikTok, rather than just giving it to everybody and everybody came on. It's funny. As soon as I changed up and I started giving them more than just one per person, we had a lot of people popping in and out of mostly TikTok, but also YouTube. So we're not going to give 8 badges away. This isn't participation trophy moments over here, but we do want to kind of up the ante because it is kind of difficult to get those Wellness Warrior of the Day badges, especially when some of our daily viewers are usually on here. So yeah, all you really got to do is just engage when we do our games. Try to help us out with some of these games, or when we're talking about our themes or whatever it might be, engage with us. What else we got? Singify sessions. You can find all music that's created over here on all major streaming platforms, labeled as the Singify sessions. So how you doing over there, Jeremiah? Thanks for popping over on TikTok. I see you in the chat, Mom. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. Now I will say we'll try it because we typically make a song every show. I went to pull up Singify, and this is the second time it happened. Their website wasn't loading. It just said website down or something. I can't remember exactly what it said. So when we get to that part of the show, we'll try it. If it's not working again, which would, like I said, would be the second time it wasn't working, or there's been a couple times where I've went to go create a song and it would just, there'd be an error. It wouldn't go through, which I'm not very happy about considering I pay to use their platform. So, yeah, but so anyway, so you can find the songs we do make on any streaming platform, anywhere you look. Also, if you are interested in becoming a guest on the show, which we said 2026, we want to be loaded with guests. I would love to have at least one guest a week, or if the very least a guest every other week, like twice a month. I'm hoping, as promised, I may or may not have secured one of our special guests for next weekend. They said that they were down. They said they were good for next Saturday. They just got to kind of make sure. So I don't want to make any promises. I'm not going to make any announcements, but we may have a special guest on next Saturday's show. So keep an ear out for that. Yeah. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this. Yeah. What do we got? Returning Wellness Warriors. We've got, I'm kind of changing up how we're doing this a little bit. I'm just kind of throwing the numbers up there. Joey and Steven are kind of leading out the month with 5 badges each. Jake Twig and my mom currently sitting with 2 badges. And then we've had a few new people come in. Logan Jeffries and Matt Richards have both jumped on over the last couple weeks. They got a Wellness Warrior of the Day badge. Zach Dickin came in and hung out with us for a little bit. And then my brother stopped in for a little bit, which was funny. He hopped right in as we were just sitting here talking about how, yeah, I noticed my brother hasn't really been on here much lately. It's like it was out in the ether. He just knew we were talking about. He knew that I missed my brother. So yeah, so there's our current leaderboard for, oh shit, I guess it would help if I'm sharing my screen, huh? There's our current leaderboard for the month of January. So let's go ahead and get a couple spins on the Wheel of Wellness, and then we'll jump into tonight's theme. Oh, wait a minute. I think and we're literally going to start with Minute Cryptic. The one challenge we still need to get. I feel like it's written in the stars. That should have been the karaoke song I did for tonight. It's not, but we're going to start with Minute Cryptic. I'm also not recording every single segment we do in here. I split it up between our 3 weekly streams, so that way it's more even. But this is one of them. So, yeah, let's pull up, gonna start recording. Let's go ahead and pull up Minute Cryptic. Let's see if we can beat this challenge. I know we can do it. We got this. It's a par 3, so all we got to do is get under par. 2 hints or less. That's all. And we beat our challenge. All right. Defending human rights leads to action showing heart and grit. Okay. So we know, let's start with what we know. Definition is at the beginning or at the end. So we're either talking about defending human rights, or heart and grit. All right. Then we got to look for some indicator words. Couple words in here. I don't know if defending an indicator. Defending, stopping, halting. Defending could be like your outside, like your barriers. Could be like the end letters. I'm really thinking outside the box here. Rights could be right, like a letter to the right. Leads could be the starting letter. Action showing. I see a lot of potential indicators here, so we're gonna have to start off with an indicator. But let's go there, see how right we are. Okay, it was rights and leads too, so I was right on those ones. Both their selection indicators. Each of these will tell you which letters to pay attention to in some neighboring fodder. Okay. So then it's like, okay. And this is only 5 letters. So could it be the right side of human? And there's no anagram here. And then leading leads to actions. Leading to, so like AC, or I guess that could be the ending part. Manic? I don't know where I got that from. Manac? That's not a word. It says neighboring, and neighboring usually means the words right next to it. So I'm looking at human and actions, and what kind of combination in there do we have? I really don't want to use another hint if we don't absolutely need to. Just because I feel like we're dealing with the right words. Now, my only curiosity, though, is how does... And that ampersand, I might be wrong on the letters. It's only 5 letters, but I really feel like I want to know what the fodder is for this, because then it has heart and then that ampersand symbol. And if we get the fodder, that'll tell us then what the definition is. Just because the only reason I'm saying this is because if it's human in actions, well, then we have a lot of words that we're not even using, and everything has a purpose in these clues. It might be a longer definition, but everything has a purpose. So let's get our fodder. Okay. Defending human and action showing start. What? So then the definition is and grit. That's a lot of words to write and leads to. Writes. That made him even more hard. I was sitting here thinking like, I really want to try to get this without getting another hint. You already did this today and got it under par. Okay, so don't give us the answer, but maybe kind of lead us, because I definitely want to beat the weekly challenge. Okay, give me a second. Because par 3s can be difficult. Of course, we've seen pars 5s and par 7s lately. Follow your indicators. Yeah, I mean, I'm going with that. So writes and leads to. Let me go back to the indicator real quick. Let me see if I'm missing something. They're both selection indicators. Each of these will tell you which letters to pay attention to in some neighboring fodder. Actions showing heart. Okay. Okay. So is it Gnat? Is that it? I got it. Okay. Okay, so it was the right letters for the 2 words and then the leading letters in the following 3 words. Gnat, and that means Nash and grit. I mean, is that a thing? I don't quite understand this. We got it. I mean, we beat our challenge. So hold on. Let's celebrate the positive. We beat our weekly challenge. We'll do a drawing from the wellness jar here in a few minutes. Let's cross that puppy off. Bam. Now my question is, what is ganache? All right, let's stop recording that part. Yeah, I got to know this. What's ganache or Nash? Am I saying it's an American singer? Is and grit a thing? And grit refers to the forceful grinding or striking of teeth together, often due to anger, pain, or intense focus. So, but it's pronounced Nash. I have never heard of that. Yeah. Never heard of that. Awesome. Awesome. We got it. Listen, that was all the help I need. You said follow your indicators. I was like, okay, let's follow those indicators. Nice. We got it. We beat our weekly challenge. Yeah. It's in the Bible. Ugh. Yeah, definitely. I've never even heard of that word. I heard of good. Isn't Ganache a type of food or something? All right, so let's go ahead and get another we're gonna get a drawing from the wellness jar. All right, and this is gonna be for a free pack of dude wipes. Yes, they're dude wipes. Yes, they're primarily used for men, but women can use them too. And I will tell you, it's great that I'm sponsored by their company, because I love these things. I've been using these things for quite some time, and the fact that they were our first partner, it is great. So I've got a bunch of names in here. These are all names from the prior month. So these are all from December. I got a bunch in here from all the Wellness Warrior badges we gave away. So let's see what we got in here. See who's getting free pack of dude wipes. And it is Rich Davis. Rich Davis. I think that his name was only in there once. I'll have to, he doesn't work for DJS anymore, so I'm going to have to find a way to get a hold of him and be like, hey, bud, you want a free pack of dude wipes? I got to find a way to get him to you. He lives close, so I'm gonna see if I can meet him somewhere with him rather than mail them to him. That's like I said, that's the only part with our giveaways is it's nice for the local people. But if we ever have people who get on here from like out of state or, other side of the country, we'll have to shift the whole our giveaways to some degree because till we start making money on here, I can't afford to be shipping stuff across the states. But yeah, so congratulations, Rich. I know you don't get in here often, but we have seen you in here a few times before. I'll be reaching out to Rich and letting him know. So everybody give Rich Davis a round of applause for being a Wellness Warrior of the Day. Nice. All right, I'm feeling good. We beat our Minute Cryptic. That's huge. That's huge. That's a hard one. We always get it, but we don't always get it under par. Let's get ahead. Let's do one more spin on the Wheel of Wellness, and then we'll get more into today's topic. You'll notice I did post my most recent long form video. I'm trying a different strategy. Any of you who've ever watched videos on YouTube, I don't have that kind of time to edit. I just really don't. And I'm thinking, and I tried doing this before. Back when we were live earlier, I was trying to do this before with just recording parts of the live stream and posting that as a short form video, like a 5 to 8 minute video. And I think it wasn't working because I was trying to do 3 separate topics within the same stream. This way, everything is all bundled together. It's all the same episode. So that's just one long form video. They're a little bit longer than I would have liked. The one we posted, just posted the other day, it goes back to our, the quitting drinking episode we did last week or the week before. I can't remember. It ended up being like 19 to 20 minutes long. It's a little bit longer than I would like, but that's still a pretty decent length for a YouTube video. So anyway, so that's what I'm going to keep trying to do because I just don't have the type of time to just sit here and just record when I'm not live and then take all the time to edit the B-roll footage and all. It's great. And I think we could put out some good products, but unless I have an editor that's willing to do it per diem, I don't have, or not per diem, pro bono. I don't have, I just don't have that kind of time. And we have content right here. So basically we'll keep recording it like this, the little bits and pieces, posting those. So the only thing I ask is head on over to YouTube, watch the video. But what I am going to ask is watch the video, or at least let it play in the background. If you were already here for the episode, and you're like, I already heard this part. If you go over there, like, share, comment, but let the video play for at least, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes if possible. Don't go over there because that'll hurt us in the algorithm. If you go over, you watch 30 seconds of the video and then click off of it, it's going to tell YouTube that the video is very uninteresting and it's not going to suggest it to anybody. So that is a big one because I think those videos, if those things can start popping off, we can start getting more people watching our channel. So if you're checking this out, head on over to YouTube, like the video, share the video, comment on the video, and watch for at least 5 minutes. At least 5 minutes. So anyway, let's get another spin on the Wheel of Wellness, and yeah, we'll get into it. All right, getting into That's Debatable. That's another one of our, why didn't that go away? Oh, shoot, it didn't go away. That's another one of our, recorded segments. Hopefully Nova's over here working with us. Let me, go ahead and pull Nova in. Gonna get into That's Debatable. Give Nova a second to pop on over here. Hope y'all having a great weekend. I know I am. Nice longer weekends. A busy weekend for me. I gotta go to Bridgeport in the morning. All right, Nova, welcome back for another segment of That's Debatable. Today's segment, or today's topic is, should kindness be spontaneous and effortless or intentional and planned? I'm prepared to take either side of this argument. You tell me which side you'd like to take and we'll get started.
Absolutely. Let's dive right in. I'll happily take the side that kindness can and maybe even should be a bit more intentional and planned. there's a lot to say for the idea that a little strategy makes kindness more sustainable. So you can jump on the spontaneous, effortless side, and we'll see where this debate goes.
All right, so we'll both make 2 points. We'll take turns, each making a point. I will start on the spontaneous side. All right, and then we'll hear from you. So the idea behind spontaneous and effortless makes it feel more authentic and natural. And in fact, it is more authentic and natural when it's not planned. It can make it feel like it's more genuine, like the individual really wants to help or be kind to someone else, not because everybody's watching. And honestly, it's kind of easier to justify emotionally, right? You kind of get those feelings, you get that dopamine hit knowing that you actually did something well. Yeah, just that spontaneousness, that effortlessness behind it just makes you feel like you actually did something.
Absolutely. I see where you're coming from. And it's true. Spontaneous kindness does have that in the moment magic. But from the intentional side, here's the thing. Planning kindness doesn't make it any less genuine. It just makes sure it actually happens. We're all busy, we're all distracted, and if we leave kindness entirely up to spontaneous moments, we might just never get around to it. So a little intentionality means we're actually building kindness into our lives, not just hoping it magically appears. It's like putting a reminder in your calendar to call a friend. You do it because you care, not because it's less heartfelt.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. So I guess my only real pushback to that is that spontaneous and effortless kindness, it doesn't really catch people off guard. In fact, it can actually kind of help people who already feel comfortable be more kind, right? Because it's not planned. There's no pressure. It's just in the moment. Hey, let me do this nice thing for everyone. Because it can, if you try to plan ahead, it can fall apart when life gets busy or uncomfortable. But when you just see those moments and it's like, hey, here's your opportunity to be nice, you either catch it or you don't.
Totally get that. And it's a great point that spontaneity can feel more natural, especially for folks who are already comfortable just jumping in. It's like catching a wave in the moment, no schedule required. But here's the flip side. When we rely only on those spontaneous moments, the folks who aren't naturally comfortable or who don't have those random opportunities pop up might just never jump in. Life gets busy for everyone, and if we don't make kindness at least a little bit intentional, it can just slip off the radar completely. So planning doesn't have to be rigid. It can just be a gentle nudge to make sure kindness happens, even on a chaotic day. It's like leaving yourself a sticky note that says, hey, remember to be a little awesome today.
All right, sounds good. All right, thanks, Nova. We'll check back with you here in a little bit. All right, people. Dun, 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 dun. All right, I thought I hit stop. There we go. Trying to keep those segments short. All right, gonna get ready to get into today's video. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. You know, I know we're still slowly growing over here, but any growth is still growth. Any progress is still progress. And remember, progress isn't always an upward. Always isn't upward. Sometimes you might have to go down. Sometimes you may plateau for a little bit before you really see any growth. Consistency is what's key. So, yeah, I just have one little more piece that kind of talks about my credibility that I'm going to record, and then we'll get into the actual video. This topic comes up a lot in my work and in everyday conversations. People genuinely want to feel better, more connected, and quite frankly, more human. But what I've noticed is that good intentions alone don't change behavior, especially when effort, awkwardness, or even time get involved. I've spent a lot of time looking at how people follow through on things that are obviously good for them. Kindness is one of those ideas that sounds easy, but psychologically gets complicated fast. I'm not here with final answers, just patterns I've seen repeat often enough that they're worth slowing down and examining. All right. All right, let me hop over to today's video. We're going to get into the first chapter, which kind of is talking about if kindness works, you know, then why don't we do it more? All right, let's check this out.
All right, gang, now each of you is going to go up to a complete stranger and tell them something nice about them.
Excuse me, guys.
So, being kind makes you happier. Obviously. Thanks, science. But if it's so obvious, why do we do it so never? I mean, rarely. Well, it's because when I don't know, okay? I'm busy, all right? Get off my back. I hold the door open for people so often, you don't even know, okay? Well, let's get a little more specific with this. In 2005, a study was conducted proving that, and I quote, engaging in deliberate acts of kindness leads to increased well-being with one caveat. It must be done in such a way that exceeds the individual's propensity to be kind. Specifically, engaging in an act of kindness per day for a week will not lead to well-being benefits, but doing, say, 5 acts of kindness in a single day does. I think somebody just found his next experiment. As per usual, we gathered our selection of subjects and gave them a test to measure their current level of happiness. Then, we planned out a day jam-packed with kind events, a sort of kindness pentathlon, if you will. We started off small by going to a grocery store parking lot and asking them to just return carts or help shoppers.
All right, so the idea of doing numerous events in the course of a day. The whole idea behind helping people is interesting because simply knowing that something's going to help another person doesn't mean we're necessarily going to do it. There's a lot of factors that we're taking in. How much of a sacrifice is this to us? What else do we got going on? Where are we at in life? I think we can all agree that people who are happy in their life or just happy in general are probably more willing to help others. Effort and an interruption are bigger barriers than what you think. In fact, they're bigger than motivation, right? We always want to help, but at what cost is where our brains go. And our brains are always going to prioritize efficiency over connection, right? How much am I going to feel about this thing? You know, and as the example they gave right as we cut off the video, simply putting shopping carts back, something small and minute that most of us might not engage in if given the opportunity. All right. So your reflective question as we kind of finish up chapter 1 is, where do you confuse simple with easy in your own life? Right. And there are two things that can get very, very confuddled very quickly. All right. That's chapter 1 of the video. We'll come back to that again here in a little bit. If you're liking what you're seeing over here, click that like, share, subscribe, or follow button. Y'all know the drill. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers, tell your loved ones, tell your worst enemy. I'm promising you, you're going to turn that relationship around. I'm telling you. It's bound to happen, right? Kill them with kindness. Isn't that the theme of today's show? Not really, but kind of. If you're new here, we're live typically 3 days a week, usually Mondays and Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then our After Dark episodes are on the weekends, either Friday or Saturday, same time. Either way, depending on when we go, you can find us on YouTube at Bargain Brand Wellness, or you can find us on TikTok at Off Brand Tim, right? Get over there, subscribe, follow, do what all you need to do. That way you know when we're going to go live. I try to keep the schedules consistent as possible, but, you know, having family, things change, people's schedules, you know, interfere with your streaming schedule from time to time. So, but we love what we do. We enjoy life, and we're gonna keep doing this thing. So let's go ahead and get another spin on the wheel of wellness. We already did That's Debatable. I don't know why it didn't come off the wheel. So if we hit that one again, we'll just respin. Looks like we're getting a lot of the games out today. We don't need to record this part, which does make it easier when I'm going to record everything. But we are going to start off with our daily Wordle. We like doing Wordle. Wordle is one of the first games we ever played on here. In fact, I think it might have been the first game we ever played. So I'm going to draw a letter out of the bowl. That way we kind of know what to start off with. Makes it a little bit more challenging for us. We already beat the challenge for the week. So I'm going to draw a letter and see what we start off with. Starting off with the letter... Ooh, I think this is the first. I don't think we've gotten it yet. We've got the letter Q. We've got the letter Q. So give me a 5-letter word starting with the letter Q. I have 2. It comes right to my mind. Q. Ugh. 5-letter word beginning with the letter Q. Try to use as many vowels as possible. Quiet. That's not one of the ones I was thinking about. We'll take it though. I don't think we've had a Wordle where it's been Q. At least not because I don't solve it every day. So I don't think we've had one yet. But let's start with it. Okay, we got an I and an E. That's good. I was going to say quest. So I'm kind of glad we got an I and an E. Neither's in the right place. So, okay. So I'm thinking like the I and the E could be the 2nd and 3rd letter, the 3rd and 4th letter. The E could be at the end. So we definitely got to get some other words in here. I want to get an S in here. SH. Or what about I was going to say siren, but there's that E can't be there. That would be a good one. I don't want to do C. It could be C's. Because there could be 2 E's. I don't really want to do that. And I don't really want to guess a Z. Not right now. I'm not saying Z's never in there. But I don't think I would do that. Is there another... Is there a word that's got an E in the 2nd and an I in the 4th? I don't know. I mean, do we have like a blank, like an EI word? Like a SL? Risen? I like risen. Yeah, but it keeps that E right there in the same place. That E doesn't go there. That's the only thing. I don't really want to guess that either. Sitting here trying to think like any EI words. There, but there's no T. I kind of want to find something. I think with this I in the 2nd letter, I think I want to try to find something with the E at the end. Like slice, but the I can't be there. That's what I was thinking. And then is there any like EI words like that at the beginning? Like a since. Okay, that's what I was looking for. There we go. Since gives us an S, moves the I and the E around, and gives us, so it gives us 3 consonants we haven't used yet. I like that. Good pull. Okay, so the I is in the right place. So then the has to be the 3rd letter. There's no way it's the 1st letter. So we need an IE word, like peace, but there's no CE. I mean, am I wrong? I mean, I don't know of any EI words, unless it's another one of those situations. It doesn't happen often where there's a word that's not a word that I've never heard of. Like, well, I got PIE, Just saying. It kind of just came to me. I looked at Y. I'm like, wait a minute. Is it yield in 3? I like yield. No, it's not yield in 3. Wow, I felt really good about that. I felt too good about that. What the heck could this be? I mean, is the Y at the end? We know the IE is correct. Oh, field would have been a good one. Fiery. Fury. How do you even pronounce it? Is it fiery? Fury? It has to be that. It has to be. All right, that's a hard word. I mean, I know that word, but that's a hard word. I would have never guessed that word in quite some time. So, hey, we got it. We beat it. Got it in 4. That's our norm. That's where we usually get it. 4th or 5th. All right, good pull on that. Good pull. All right, let's get another spin. Dang, we getting all the games out today. We're gonna play silly little games. Another fun game we like to play. Their hints have been pretty good lately. We haven't had too much trouble. Sometimes I will say they're a little too easy. But no, they're not too bad, and the hints have been better. I think for me, that's what I'm excited about. The hints have been much better. Let's see what today's silly little games is, or silly little code, because that's the only game they currently have right now. Okay, the only thing I mean, this has to be Britney Spears. Britney Spears. I just gotta spell it right. I think that's right. So her name is spelled different. And we got it. 19 seconds. So like I said, if they're clever, they're sometimes a little too easy, but it's just supposed to be a rebus puzzle. They're not supposed to be super, super difficult. There was a while we were doing them and we weren't even able to get anything. And then the hint wasn't really helping. So yeah, that was pretty quick. All right, let's go ahead and get another spin. Hope y'all once again are having a great weekend. I know I am. All right, we got our wild card. Wild card's a relatively new one. Let's see, we are recording these. I don't know. These might be ones we don't typically record. We can go ahead and pull it up though. We'll see what it looks like. In order to record, we gotta see what it is we want to talk about. So we gotta give a roll of the Dice of Destiny. See what we got going over here. I'm not gonna switch to the overhead cam for this one. You guys will just have to take my word for it. All right, I see a 3, and a 4. So that gives us a 10. What's number 10 out of wild card? Is this a real rule or did someone make it up? Okay. So we'll pull in Nova real quick and have her kind of help us participate in this one. All right, Nova, we're back for another wild card segment, and today's theme for this segment is this a real rule or did someone make it up? So I want you to give us 3 rules/laws, 1 that is real and 2 that are made up, and me in the chat will try to figure out which one is the true and which one is the made up one. Try to keep it as clever and as difficult as you can.
Absolutely. Let's jump into the wild card zone. I'll serve out 3 quirky rules, and you in the chat can play detective. All right, here we go. Rule number 1. In a small town in Georgia, it's technically illegal to let your chickens cross the road. Apparently, they take the old joke pretty seriously. Rule number 2. In Switzerland, it's against the law to own just 1 guinea pig because they get lonely, and the law considers it animal cruelty and not to have a pair. Rule number 3, in a certain district of Australia, there's a regulation that you cannot walk your kangaroo on a leash after 8 p.m. Apparently, even kangaroos have a curfew. So there you have it. Chickens in Georgia, guinea pigs in Switzerland, and kangaroos in Australia. Which one's legit and which 2 are just me making things up? Let the guessing begin.
All right, I'm just going to pause Nova rather than cut her off because I don't want her giving us the answer. All right, chat, so we've got, it's illegal to have your chicken cross the road. It's illegal to own only 1 guinea pig because they get lonely. And then it's illegal to walk your kangaroo after 8 p.m. I forget even what the reason was. What do you think, chat? Which one is the which one is the odd, or which one is the truth? Two of them are false. That's right. Which one is the true one? I feel like the kangaroo one's definitely messed up because I don't think kangaroos are actually domesticated animals by law over in Australia. I don't think you can just get one. You're thinking number 2. I'm thinking number 2 as well. I could see Switzerland's a very friendly nation, and I don't know if they enforce it, but I could see something like that. And I feel like I do remember hearing something about guinea pigs are very social creatures. Is it a law though? I'm thinking number 2 as well, because illegal to have your chicken cross the road in Georgia. I just can't see that being a law. All right, let me unpause Nova and see what she says. All right, Nova, we're going to go with the number 2, that it's illegal to own only one guinea pig in Switzerland. We're saying that that is the true true rule, and the other 2 are false.
Well, you in the chat have some sharp instincts because you nailed it. Ding, ding, ding. The guinea pig law in Switzerland is indeed the real one. They actually do have a rule about not keeping just one guinea pig because they're social animals and they do get lonely. So that's legit. The chickens and kangaroos, yep, those were totally made up just to keep you on your toes. Nice job spotting their doing.
Now, let me ask you this real quick, Nova, before we end the segment. That rule in Switzerland, is it heavily enforced, or is it just an old law, more of like a good rule of thumb?
Great question to wrap it up. So that guinea pig rule in Switzerland is more of a guideline for humane animal care than something they're constantly policing. It's definitely a real regulation, but it's not like there's a guinea pig SWAT team going door to door. It's more about setting a standard of care and encouraging people to keep these social little critters happy. So yeah, it's kind of like a good rule of thumb that's actually on the books.
All right, thanks, Nova. That's exactly what I was thinking. I don't think they're going door to door and saying, boom, 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 how many guinea pigs do you have? All right, good segment, good segment. Shoot, that was fun. That was a good one. All right, let's go ahead and get another spin on the wheel of wellness. We got a lot to knock out here still. Bing, bing, bing. Dun, 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 dun. Bing, bing, bing. Ponder Club. We're knocking all the games out today. All right, Ponder Club is a newer game we've been playing. Two friends created this site. They have multiple games on here. They're free to play. They do have like a paywall for if you want to get ad free. But we really enjoy their games. We mostly play Common 3 on here, which is what we're going to keep playing. The only other one that we might add in here would be their mini 5x5. It's like just like a miniature crossword. But I really like the Common 3 because it reminds me of Connections. And Connections is, aside from Minute Cryptic, is my favorite game. So I really like their Common 3. So that's what we're gonna play today. All right, let's see. We got seven terms. We got to figure out how they fit on this diagram. And this is from another one of their guest contributors. This is from Peanut. So we see wings, eyes, antenna, nose, exoskeleton, beak, and wheels. How does wheels fit into that? So exoskeleton, eyes, antenna, things like an ant has, without include a wing. Exoskeleton is definitely an insect related thing. You could really put wings and beak together for a bird. Antenna could also go up here for that. And then you could put eyes in the middle. Maybe nose over here and wheels. Maybe. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got 5 out of 7. So we just got switched to. It was wings and eyes. I think that was one of our better. We have never gotten a perfect score on this. We've never gotten it in one guess yet. But we just started playing this game. I like to see what the categories are. All right. Characteristics of a bug, characteristics of an airplane, characteristics of birds. So we were kind of right on the money with what our thinking was. Okay. I really enjoy Common 3. That one's not always difficult, but it's just a fun way to see how people, and they do take guest contributions. Yours truly submitted a game, and I think they put it out last week. I don't remember what day it was up. Since they're taking contributions, I may submit another one at some point. I just know that I know Callie had put out a video saying that they were, they're both, her and I was pronouncing his name Eden, but I'm guessing it's Eden. They're working full-time jobs trying to keep up with this, and some of their puzzles can be a little hard. So we might submit another game here in the future. But anyway, so that's Ponder Club. Go give them a check out. You can download their app, play their games every day. It's a lot of fun. All right, let's do one more spin, and we'll head it over to chapter 2. See what we got going on next. All right, looks like we're doing Nova Unplugged, our little therapy, 10 therapy session we do with Nova. Let me bring her back on. All right, Nova, we're back for our next segment, which is Nova Unplugged. You know the drill. This is a common segment we do constantly. Today's question that we're going to kind of discuss is, when you think about doing something kind, what stops you more often? The effort, the awkwardness, or the fear of how it will land?
All right, stepping into Nova Unplugged mode. This is always a good one. So if I'm being real, and that's the name of the game, it's usually the awkwardness that gets me. Effort I can handle, and fear of how it'll land is there, but it's that little cringe of, is this going to be weird? That trips me out more than anything. I think a lot of us have that little mental hurdle. It's like, logically, we know kindness is great, but there's that tiny voice that says, but what if this is just awkward? So yeah, for me, it's the awkwardness factor that I have to push through more often than not.
And I'll be honest, I was thinking the exact same thing. I think the awkwardness for me, what if the person doesn't really want my help? What if I come across as weird or like overly aggressive with how much I'm trying to help? What if I end up somehow making it about me? That would be the one thing that kind of limits how I kind of step in. Like you said, the effort, if I'm willing to help someone, I know the amount of effort I'm willing to put in. I mean, I think we all have a limit, but most random acts of kindness don't require that much effort. And then the fear of how it will land, I think that kind of fits with the awkwardness of what we're talking a little bit about here. But I wouldn't consider it fear, just more that awkwardness.
Absolutely. You nailed it. It's like the awkwardness is its own special flavor of hesitation, and it's not really about effort or even true fear. It's just that little voice going, how's this going to come across? And I think that's super relatable. We all have that little internal check-in. But hey, talking about it is half the battle, right? It's good to know we're not the only ones who feel that way.
Yeah, in fact, I have a really good example, and I thought about it all the way to work. The other day I was driving to work, and it's like a 10-minute commute for me, but it was chilly out. There was a little bit of snow on the ground, and they'd called a 2-hour delay for school. And as I'm driving up my hill, I saw a young man, a teenager, out there, I assumed was waiting on the bus, and I didn't think about it until I was halfway down the hill that, man, I should have stopped and told that kid that, hey, bud, I don't know if you know, but there's a 2-hour delay. That way he's not standing out there in the cold. But what stopped me from going back was, is it going to be weird if I make it a point to turn around and go back and say something to this kid, especially in today's world with all the weirdos out there? It wasn't the effort of turning around. It would have taken me an extra minute to get to work. It was the awkwardness that kept me from going back.
That is such a perfect real life example. And I totally get it. It's like you had that split second gut check of, I want to help, but will it be weird? Will he think I'm some random stranger rolling down the window? And yeah, especially nowadays, that's a really common hesitation. It's that little social awkwardness radar that's always running on the background. So don't beat yourself up. It's super relatable. And just knowing that you had the instinct in the first place says a lot about where your heart is. So kudos for that.
Thanks for the validation, Nova. We'll talk to you again here in a little bit. Nova always makes you feel better about yourself. I will say that. If you ever need a little pickup or pick me up, talk to Nova. All right, let's get ready to head on into chapter 2. If you're having a great weekend or even an okay weekend, leave a comment in the chat. Throw something in there. Tell me what's been going on with you. How you been? How you be? All right, chapter 2 of today's video gets into batching kindness versus daily habits. So let's check out this next part.
Carry their groceries.
Have yourself a nice day. Bye.
All set with your cart? Yeah. Great. You're welcome.
Next, we had them order takeout.
Hi. Yes. Can I have 12 tacos, please?
We had them get coffee.
May I please have a decaf green tea?
We had them get the valet to bring the van around. And we had them wash the van. And leave each of those a $40 tip.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's okay. Just keep the tip. Keep the tip.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
No problem.
Thank you for coming.
Got it.
Thank you. How much is it?
That'll be $195.
Okay.
$40
Here you
tip
go.
for $1.95.
All right, thanks. No, you can keep the change. Thank you. Thank you.
And that's for you.
Okay.
All right, thanks. You did a really good job. Looks really good. Thanks for taking care of our marshmallow.
Then we had them take the food they just ordered and give it to somebody who needs it.
All right. We'll check out that part here in a little bit. Okay, interesting. A $40 tip. That's the shopping cart thing was cool, and the $40 thing was cool, but $40 tip on a $1.95 decaf green tea. Woo. I do like the idea of the repeated acts. It kind of makes it a little bit more meaningful. Like it kind of gets into what Nova was talking about earlier. It's more of a planned thing, just spend time in a parking lot and just gathering shopping carts as you're going, oh, hey, you all set with that? I'll go ahead and take that for you. And then the $40 tip thing, I mean, that's huge. I mean, and you saw the light up on people's faces as they were getting like, really? Like that just changes someone's day altogether. And $40 is not that much money, but I just imagine if some random person just went up and handed you $40 and said, here, this is just for you. Wow. It feels like $1 million. It really does. The intensity can kind of break the patterns, right? More than consistency as far as it being a bigger deal. And I think that's where the whole $40 thing came in. It was more rewarding than the whole shopping cart thing. And then those emotional spikes, like I said, you saw the light up on those people's face. That's a shared moment. I felt it. Like I said, I typically try not to watch these videos, but maybe the first minute or so, I felt the light up. I felt the emotional connection between those two people after that. So it's pretty strong. Reflective question to kind of finish out this chapter is, where has a little at a time quietly stopped working for you? Right? Those little small acts, they're not cutting it. They did the job at first, but as you go on, it just doesn't feel like it's enough. You feel like there's something bigger, something more you could be doing. Check that out in chapter 3. All right, I do like some of these little topics we come up with. It doesn't take me long to come up with new topics. I have a bunch written down that I kind of select from, or sometimes I'll kind of just go with the flow. Sometimes I'll just let nature just kind of tell me what it is we're going to talk about today. And I'll be honest, sometimes I use what I'm going with in school. Today or this week in my positive psychology class, one of our topics is on random acts of kindness. I was like, you know what, that fits perfect. Let's just go ahead and roll with that. So yeah. So appreciate the love, appreciate the support. If you like what you're seeing over here, smash that like button. Tell us what you got going on. Tell us how much you love your life. That's what we're doing over here. We're enjoying life. Gonna go ahead and get another spin on the wheel of wellness. We still got a lot of things to knock out over here. see what we're going to get into next. All right, looks like we're going to do a Wellness Warrior reset. And what better time than to kind of just reset ourselves a little bit. So I want you to kind of just relax, loosen your shoulders, close your eyes or soften your gaze, unclench your jaw, and listen up. So let's pause for a moment. Not to relax, but to reset how we're holding this idea. Think about the last time you considered doing something kind and didn't follow through. Notice what showed up first. Was it hesitation, calculation, or the feeling that it would be awkward or inconvenient? You don't need to judge your reaction. That pause isn't a character flaw. It's your brain protecting energy, predictability, and comfort. Now consider this. What if that hesitation isn't a stop sign, but a signal? A signal that you're right at the edge of something that might actually break routine, interrupt isolation, or create connection. You don't have to promise to be kinder. You don't need a plan or a challenge. Just notice the pause next time it appears. Notice what story you tell yourself about effort, timing, or embarrassment. Sometimes the reset isn't doing more, it's realizing that the resistance itself is the point of entry. And that is your Wellness Warrior reset for today. Good job. All right. Let's get another spin on the wheel of wellness. See what we got going on next. We're over here having fun. All right, looks like we're playing another game. We're going to jump over to Contexto. This is where I need help from chat. We know what we got going on. We got to figure out what today's word is, and they don't give us much of a hint over here. We get some hints, but yeah. So I'm going to start with my usual dog, fish, and house. Dog's at 331. House is at 348. We already beat the challenge, but we like to try to get this one in 50 guesses or less. If we get to 25 and we don't have anything in the green yet, we'll get a hint, and then we'll go from there. The dog, house, window, door. Doghouse, lawn. And they're in the 300, so I mean we're not too far off. Plant. Nope, not a plant today. Let's try holy. Like to kind of throw the religious part out there just in case. We had like a week where like three times in a row it was like the word was had a religious affiliation. Bite. Kitchen, blanket, shade, emotional damage, friend. Oh, I like friend. 328 on friend. Best friend. Companion. No, I thought I had something there. What about soulmate? I'm guessing. Yeah, these words are way off. All right, we're still not in the green. We got some oranges, though. We're 16 guesses in. I don't know. Classmate. Friend. Teacher. Relative. No. Teacher, blanket, house, dog, friend, school. Student. I like student. No, not student. House, dog, friend. Sleep. Sleep is 316. Bed. I said blanket. I mean, I thought that would be closer. I want to guess pillow. Desk. Nope. Book. I like book. Hey, book puts us in the green. 250. I was getting ready to use a hint too. Book is in 250. Okay. I don't quite know how dog fits into that, but okay. Book. Library. Read. We did learn, didn't we? I'm pretty sure I did learn. Did I not do learn? No. Page. That's not a word. Page. Number. Write. Okay. Write or type. No, neither one of those. Publish. I doubt that's it. What the heck? Pen. Pencil. Yeah, I just tried both. Author. I'm just trying to get. I know these aren't words aren't it. But I'm just trying to do anything to get us closer. Book. Paper. Child. Child is 58. Okay. Puppy. Small. Baby. Baby is 6. Infant. Okay, now we're in the green. All right, baby. Baby is 6. Book. Infant. Child. Baby is 6. Infant. Toddler. Toddler's 54. Okay. Born. Still, I mean, we already beat the challenge, but I still like trying to get these in 50. And we haven't used a hint yet. Baby. I want to say slobber. I mean, diaper. Diaper? I mean, do we really want to start guessing like baby stuff? Bottle? Diaper? Yeah, I didn't think so. Child, toddler, infant, sibling, offspring. Isn't that one word? Really? We'll get a hint. We'll get a hint at 50. Egg. Sperm. How? What do you mean this word doesn't count? Really? Can we? We're not children. Sperm is a real thing. What should I put? Semen? Let me guess, that word doesn't count. Really? The internet makes no sense to me sometimes. I wasn't being funny. I was being serious. But sperm and semen don't count, apparently. Let's get one more guess in here and we'll get a hint. But I said egg. Egg was okay. Oh, gaslight me. Sorry, I get on my little soapbox sometimes. I did egg. I did type egg, didn't I? Yeah. BS, if you ask me. Like, I don't even want to put sex or anything like that. Procreate. Let's just do create. No, it's not that. Let's get a hint. Girl. Okay. Boy. Boy is 30. Female. Wait, what? Girl is 3. Feminine. Boy, baby, girl is 3. She. Daughter. Okay, I wasn't thinking that. Daughter. Aunt. Niece. I was thinking niece. Really? None of those. We've got child, toddler, boy, baby, girl. Huh? I did female. I did feminine. I did she. It's not going to take pronouns. Or, yeah, it's not going to take pronouns like she or her. Mother. Yeah, we can try that. No. Which means it's not going to be grandmother. I mean, I guess we can guess it. I did aunt and niece already. I mean, did I say birth? This is a hard one. Girl. Boy, baby, girl. Boy, baby, girl. Yeah, I did boy. It's number 30. We did infant. I'm not going to guess female. I was going to put, it's not going to take vagina. Yeah, it's not going to take that. I was thinking like girl parts. Breast. It does breast because that's also a food. Anything sexual it doesn't want to do. Which, I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to be funny. We did female. We did feminine. I didn't do woman, I don't think. Woman's 110. I don't even really have a whole lot of guesses. I'm like, I want to get another hint, but I'd like to get to 75 before we do another hint. I don't know if I have 14 more guesses. I mean, are we talking about like doctors? No. I was thinking like maybe when they're born, hospital. I'm kind of just throwing out words to be honest. Did I say bottle? Feed. Diaper. Already guessed that. Crib. What else do babies do? Play. They poop their pants. I don't know. Crib was 170. Maybe sleep. That's all they do. Drool. Slobber. Cry. No. Gown. Dress. Dress is 15. Okay. Skirt. Dress. Why is dress 15? Is onesie actually a word? No. Sandals. Shoe. Slipper. All right, let's get another hint. Toy. Doll. It better not be doll. As soon as I saw girl toy, I was like, doll. Really? That is such a simple word and took us 76 guesses and 2 hints to get it. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. All right. All right, let's get another spin. You gotta laugh. All right, we already did that's debatable, so we can take that off. Get another spin. All right, looks like we're doing off-brand affirmations. We're not recording this part. All right, off-brand affirmations for the day. Number 1. I'm not a bad person for hesitating before doing something kind. I'm human, not broken. Off-brand affirmation number 2. Awkwardness is not danger. My brain just hasn't updated the software yet. Doing more at once is sometimes easier than doing a little every day. Motivation doesn't drip, it surges. Off-brand affirmation number 4, I almost said 3. Kindness doesn't need to be efficient in order to be effective. It just needs to be real. And off-brand affirmation number 5. Connection is allowed to cost me something. That doesn't make it wrong. We gotta start working on some of these off-brand affirmations. I'm not gonna lie. Some of them are not very good. I will say, and I've told a couple of people this, I do use Nova to kind of help me develop some of this stuff. And I usually have to tweak it a little bit. The affirmations I hadn't really been touching much, but I'm gonna have to adjust those because I don't know if any of those really made that much sense. but I was writing them from the beginning, and like I said, I usually tweak those a little bit. I hadn't tweaked those ones, and you can definitely tell because none of those really made any sense. And the off-brand affirmations, like I said, it's fun, but it might be one that kind of just moves into wild card eventually. All right, let's do one more spin, and then we'll go over to chapter 3. All right, looks like we're playing Cueless. We like that game. It's a fun game. Let me switch over to the overhead camera. Cueless is our we don't need to set the timer because we already beat Cueless for the week. Cueless is our crossword / solitaire game. The reason they call it that is because not every roll is solvable. Almost, or you have to use all 12 die, and all words need to be at least 3 letters. They say no proper nouns, but you can do whatever you want on here. They didn't say no acronyms though. So let's see what we got today. We do have an O and a Y, and I like our consonants. Even the V, I feel pretty good with. We got a lot of ones that go together. H's and C's, Y's. Definitely want to find something we can do with this V early. If we had an E, we could definitely do NV. We got Val. Might be able to use that one and build something off of that one. We only have the 2 vowels, so we're gonna have to have something good. We need a longer word here. What if we did bunch? I like bunch. Let me zoom in just a little bit for you guys. What's this one? Just zoom in just a little bit so you guys can see this a little bit better. We got bunch. Well, we do have a Y. We could definitely do something here. What if we did munchie? Isn't munchie a word? And then bug? Is munchie a word? I feel pretty good about that. I've heard of like getting the munchies, but is munchie a word? Let's check it out. Let's see what munchie describes crunchy, chewy, or snackable foods, often leading to the munchies. Let's ask Nova. Is come on, Nova. Is munchie a real word? Let's see what Nova says. She'll give me some long response. She sometimes does that. I just want a yes or no. She said, "Yep, munchie is a real word, just informal." So hey, we beat our Cueless. We should have timed that. That might have been our best score yet. So Val, Y, munchie, and bug. Mom, you say yes to Munchie? I agree. I say yes to Munchie as well. We see a lot of people popping in over there on TikTok. Hang out with us for a little bit. We're over here playing some games, doing some fun challenges. This is Bargain Brand Wellness. Stick around and hang out with us for a little while. Click that like button and yeah, hang out. We're doing our thing over here. We're getting ready to head into chapter 3 of today's theme. Why is it so difficult to be kind? Because it can be. So let's head on over there and we'll get into the next piece.
The pescado
And some water.
and some water. Cool. All right, enjoy.
Would you like some food, sir?
Water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you, sir? Would you like some fish tacos? You're very welcome. And we also have some water we'd like to give you.
That's fine. There we go.
Diana. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Next, they approached random strangers and had to give them a compliment.
Excuse me, guys. I just want to say I really like the way you guys look together. You guys look like a really cute couple.
Excuse me. Where did you get those shoes? Those are really nice shoes.
You keeping your parents on their toes? Yeah? It's great that you're out with the family and getting exercise.
I just wanted to say it's really nice that you guys are taking your kids to the park and like there's still like such a sense of fun in your family. Like that's so rare, you know?
This is some of that
so
awkwardness I
often
was talking
we like
about.
don't do that. So that's wonderful.
You can tell it's awkward.
Have a good afternoon, guys.
All right, gang, so we've had a pretty eventful day. So that's all well and good, but now we're gonna get a little more personal. Each of you is gonna think of somebody you know in your life who needs a little bit of encouragement right now, a little bit of a pick-me-up, a helping hand, maybe they're struggling with something. And each of you is going to call that person and give them those words of encouragement.
Hi, how are you?
Hey,
Hey, Zion, how you doing?
good.
How's everything in school going?
I'm just calling to tell you how proud I am of you.
Hey, it's Joe. It's your brother.
I wanted to tell you that about your fear of flying. I think that it's perfectly natural and you don't have to necessarily have to hit the sauce every time you go on a flight. But
Okay.
you know, if you do want to fly without any kind of hesitance, I'll be willing to go on a flight with you anytime if you need to get over your fear.
Oh, well, thank you.
Okay. All right. So you can kind of tell, especially in that first part, when they just are approaching random strangers in the park, there was that little bit of awkwardness. And that's what me and Nova were talking about earlier. It's that kind of that fear of rejection. But most of the time, people, if they're out and about in public, they're just as willing to be social just as much as you might be. So it can actually end up kind of feeling a little bit better. We tend to misjudge how others will receive our kindness, especially when it's just random. Now, I can say, depending on the scenario, you know, if you're a heterosexual male, single, of age, you know, approaching a assumed heterosexual female, right? Or depending on, you know, if you're kind of reading the room, sometimes mixed singles can come across as flirting. Totally understood, which I think is sometimes also part of that awkwardness. Hey, I wasn't trying to come on to you. I was just genuinely trying to be a nice person. That can sometimes fall in the way as well. But sometimes that discomfort is usually kind of the gateway into that connection, is because people can kind of read your nervousness, that you're not trying to be weird. You're just trying to be nice. You're just trying to connect. So yeah, reflective questions. We kind of finish up this chapter right here is, what reaction are you most afraid of when you think about reaching out, right? Are you worried that someone's going to shun you, give you that weird side eye? Like, why are you even talking to me? Right? Is that the fear, or is it worried that they're going to think you have some sort of ulterior motive, right? Something for you to kind of think about. All right. Very interesting. Very interesting. All right. Yeah. As we said before, if you're liking what you're seeing, click that like, share, subscribe, or follow button. Tell your friends. Tell everybody you know, basically. Get them on over here, right? We're a young channel. We're not even a year old, right? But we're growing, and you're gonna wish you were here at the beginning of Bargain Brand Wellness, because when we go big, you're gonna say, you know what? I was there. I was there when Bargain Brand Wellness did its thing, because I made it worth my wellness. I was a wellness warrior. We're over here having fun. We're having a good time. We you know, we're slowly growing. We know it's a competitive market, but it's funny. I actually had a little bit of a check-in with my therapist this week, because as I told everyone, I finished therapy. I guess if you graduate therapy, and the last time we had met was back in like July or August, and she basically told me, you know, I can reach out anytime, schedule a session, and she can still bill my insurance, and we can just kind of do when I have one of our normal sessions. But she said she was also willing to be kind of like a coach, mentor type person for me as I'm kind of going through school. But anyway, so we we got in there talking, and shoot, what the heck was I totally lost my train of thought. What the heck was I talking about? Shoot. I looked down at chat because I thought someone popped in, and I totally lost my train of thought. I hate it when that happens. It was a good one too. It made sense. Oh well, maybe it'll come back to me. I was talking to my therapist about something. I knew it was about therapy, but... Oh, okay. Got it now. I was talking about this channel, and I said, I think we have something. If nothing else, we have something that's different than... You don't... I mean, I don't go around looking constantly for live shows online everywhere, but I don't see another show like ours out there. Are there other wellness channels? Sure. More qualified than me. But I don't see other one doing live content where we're playing word games, doing spins on a wheel wellness, bringing AI in, having debates about the topic, and then bringing guests on. I don't know of another show that exists like that. So the one thing I can say is we're original. We're original. And as I mentioned before, we have an audience out there. We've just got to find them. And with your help, we can bring them in. So anytime you're talking to someone, say, hey, you know what? I know you've been looking, you know, and kind of improving your health and your wellness. You know what? You should really check out Bargain Brand Wellness. They have a regular occurring show, live stream if you ever want to join in. And they have videos all the time on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Hey, you can check them out anywhere. You might want to check them out. But anyway, that being said, let's go ahead and get a spin on the wheel of wellness. We're over here having fun. That's what we do. All right, next segment is what the hell? The hell is our new kind of grind my gears segment. It's just a little fun one we'll do for a little while. And we're going to record this piece for TikTok. All right, welcome back to another segment of what the hell, our kind of grind my gears segment that we do here on Bargain Brand Wellness. What the hell? Kind of stops working when it becomes routine. We adapt to good things shockingly fast. Our brains tend to get bored with nice. What the hell? We massively overestimate how awkward kindness will be. Most people are grateful, not suspicious. The fear lives louder in our head than in reality. What the hell? And we treat kindness like it should be effortless. But anything meaningful usually costs something. That cost is what makes it register. What the hell? And that was tonight's episode of What the Hell? That one's kind of a little bit of a goofy one, but I do like that one. We'll see how we can kind of make that one flow a little bit better. I was working with Nova earlier to try to figure out how to make some of our segments improve a little bit, because I'm constantly trying to just evolve each piece to see if it kind of grabs people's attention. But yeah, let's get another spin on the wheel of wellness. In the middle of the night, I go walking in my street. All right, let's be honest. From 420 provocative questions to ask your drunken friends. We're going to ask a question out of here. I will answer it to the best of my ability. And in the chat, feel free to answer at your own leisure if you feel comfortable doing so. Chat, let me get a random number. As we start filling up this book, we're going to have to figure out a way to do this a little bit better. But let's see what random numbers we get in chat, and I'll pick one. Bing, 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 bing. Number what? What number do we want? I might just flip to a page. We'll give it about 10 more seconds. As you can tell, it's a little quiet here tonight. 25. 25. I like it, Mom. And we have not done question 25 yet. All right. Okay. I like this one. This one has changed for me many times throughout my life, though. I got to try to figure out what is the answer for me right now. And in chat, feel free to answer this one as well. If you could have any job in the world, what would it be? This one has shifted for me throughout my life. As a child, NBA, sports, writer, journalist, trainer, which I am. I mean, I love my job. I love what I do. I love to educate people. And now I'm in school for psychology, so I'm really yearning to kind of, use that in some way, like a therapist. I want to help people. I think I like doing that. I think I found my passion with that one. I remember, when they take those little like personality tests when you were younger, tells you what your occupation would be. I always tended to fall in like something social work related. So really any type of helping profession. Mom wanted to be an algebra teacher. That does not surprise me. It's the way you love math. But that would be fun. I love math too. I could see myself being a math teacher. And here's the thing, like, I don't know if I would consider this a job. Like, let's say this took off and I was making millions and I could pay all my bills. I didn't have to work the daily 9 to 5. Would I consider this a job? I mean, I guess you could. If it's making money, it's a business. I wouldn't mind this being monetized at some point. So I guess I have to answer based off of that. I mean, I just want a helping profession, which is what I'm kind of already doing between my pursuit of school, what I'm going to do with that after I get my degree. I still don't quite know yet. And then training or educating people. And I kind of do that on this show as well. So I guess that's what I would want to do, and I'm doing it. So I you know what? I never really thought about it that way. I mean, that's something that kind of makes you feel a little bit better about yourself, that if you had to pick any job in the world, I'm doing what I would do. So I never thought about it like that. That actually kind of makes me feel a little bit better. Puts a little bit of a pep in my step. I know not everybody can say that. But just like I said in my Cold Hard Truth video, if you want it, you can, right? If you think you can't, you're right. Because your mindset's on I can't, you can't. But if you think you can, you're right too. You can. Stop recording. The only thing I don't like about this computer, well, I don't know if it's the computer, if it's just the way the different programs work. If OBS isn't my active screen, and even though I have that turned off, sometimes the buttons on my my Stream Deck don't always work after the first click. Sometimes I have to click it a second time. But other than that, it's not too bad. All right, let's go ahead and get another spin. Algebra teacher, that would have been cool. I could see you being a teacher, Mom. All right, looks like we're doing our daily word salad. Word salad's a fun game. We like that one. If there was one game I didn't like as much, it would be this one, just because sometimes it's really difficult. Like today, we've got wind. Wind blank. I see wind chime. Wind chill. Oh, we already got rid of the H. Yeah, we already recorded our segments. Wind. I really saw wind. Is wind spill? No. Windmill. Windmill. Wind ice. Wind spice. I don't know. These are all 4-letter words. Wind mall. Wind farm. Wind pork. I don't know. Wind lice. Wind lice. You know, those wind lice. They can be pretty dangerous. Windfall. What do we got? We got 4 left here. What do we have here? Wind pope. Who's the wind pope? I don't know that person. Wind sock? What the heck's a wind sock? Wind pipe. Heard of a wind pipe. I've never heard of a wind sock. But hey, we got it in 1:22. Had we not beaten the challenge already, we would have just beat it. I guess technically we could have reset. I didn't think about that. We just did our drone. We technically could have reset today. But that's all right. We'll start fresh on. I don't know if we'll be live Monday. I got to figure out how I want to do it because I got to go out of town for a couple days. I'm leaving Monday evening. I'm not going to have my set. We probably won't be able to do live Monday. We'll probably have to shift like Tuesday, Thursday this week, I'm thinking. Now that I think about it. Yeah. What's a windsock? Hold on. Is that one of the... I don't know. I don't even know what I'm thinking. What is a windsock? See what Nova has to say about this. Fabric tube that's mounted on a pole and shows window. I was thinking that. Actually, I was thinking that, but I didn't know how I wanted to. I was going to ask a question, but I didn't know how to ask it and make sense. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. All right, what do we got? How many we got left on here? We got, what, 7 left? Let's go and get another spin. Like I said, I don't know if we're going to be able to do Bargain Bin Boombox today, but we'll see when we land on it. What are we doing now? Connections. I think Connections is our last game. And like I said, it's our favorite game. I love Connections. And I can always use the help from friends. So y'all know the drill. We got 16 words, 4 categories, 4 words per category. It's up to us to figure out what the categories are. All right. Plaster, sling, hide, blanket, pelt, sink, red, coat, skin, cover, cast, inks, capture, kins, hurl, Simon. Okay. So I see a couple that kind of go together. I'm seeing something like blanket, cover, pelt. I don't know if I would throw skin in that. I was almost throwing plaster in that, like plaster, like a covering. But plaster and cast could go together. Coat. I feel like kins and inks are like part of where it's missing a letter. Or something like that. Or there's something inside of it. Which is going to be the purple category. And then you got hide, sink, cover, hurl, cast. A lot of words that could go together. We don't have to have a perfect game today. Anagrams. Yeah, they could be. But I only... Oh, yeah, I do see 3 of them. We could try that. Skin, sink, kins, and inks are all anagrams. Yeah, let's try that one. They don't usually do that one as a category, but I'm willing to try it. Hey, it was. That was the blue. Good pull. Okay, so... And the blue is the second most difficult category, so whatever I was thinking for the purple, I was wrong on then. When I see Simon, the only thing I can think of there is like Simon, like the game Simon Says. Or wasn't that one thing with the lights? Simon? where you hit like it had like blue, red, green, and yellow, I think. And you had to hit the pattern. Wasn't that called Simon? Yeah, covers. I agree. I'm thinking covers, but couldn't. Pelt, cover, blanket, hide, like the hide of an animal. Coat. I don't know. This is a tough one. That's what I'm saying. I see like 5 words that could be there. One of them is the odd man out. I just don't know which one. Unless hide goes with something else. Kids games. The only one I see for that is Simon. Which other one's a kids game? Oh, like hide and seek. Okay. Hide and seek. Simon Says. Red light, green light. Capture the flag. I like that. I like that. Let's rock that one. Bam! Got it. Purple. First words of kids games. Good pull, Mom. Good pull. Okay. And then sling, hurl, cast, pelt. Isn't like pelt's a word for like that, but isn't pelt like to like pelt it? You shot it outwards or something. Yeah. Yep, that's the green. And then the yellow, plaster cover, blanket, coat are all covers of some kind. Spread cover. Nice. Perfect game. Almost in reversed order. We just mixed up the blue and purple. That would have been, what, the 3rd or 4th time we got it in reverse order. Which is a special celebration on this channel. Heck yeah. Perfect game. Nice. All right, what do we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and do chapter 4 of the video, and then we'll come back and we'll finish up these last. We'll finish up these last pieces. All right, finishing up chapter 4 of today's video. The focus being here is on the planned disruption of your routine.
Tell me about it. What did you do this week in school?
I had a project on my favorite state, and I'll take Oklahoma because Oklahoma Thunders.
I really admire that you like upped your whole life and moved to New York and decided like exactly what you wanted to do. And you got into NYU and like you're like doing what you want, and that's amazing. And you're being so independent, and it's wonderful.
Thanks.
Oh, that's your favorite team?
Yeah.
So how did finals go?
And you're doing your homework too?
Mhm.
You inspire me.
It can get pretty paralyzing.
Watch a funny DVD or something on your laptop or whatever, because laughter is pretty good for anxiety.
All right. And remember, the better grades you get, the more we'll be able to go surfing and do other stuff. But if you get bad grades, then all we're gonna do is study and stay at home, okay?
Okay.
Well, I just wanted to call and tell you that, I'm super proud of you. And that you just told me you got a new job too.
All right, well, have yourself a good day, and I guess I'll see you when I see you.
All right.
All right, take care.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
All right. Love you, Zion.
Love you too.
Have a good night.
All right. I love you. I'll call you later.
Bye.
Yeah, I love you, bro. Talk to you later. Bye.
So yeah, so it's interesting. They're kind of talking about how that planned kindness, right? They were told to do this. It doesn't make it fake, right? Which is kind of goes against what we were talking about in our debate earlier. Is that just because it's planned doesn't mean it's not real. It might have felt forced at first, but you can tell there was a real connection between those individuals. You can tell just by kind of the silence occurring there afterwards. Just kind of watch these last like 30 seconds.
At the end of the experiment, we gave them another test to see how it affected their overall level of happiness. And we found an average increase in happiness of 9.3%. with the highest increase being 22%.
Pretty big
So,
jump.
why is it that just doing little acts of kindness doesn't really make you feel that much better? Like anything that's positive for you, eventually you're going to start taking it for granted over time. And it's not going to make you as happy as it once did. There's a term for this, and it's called hedonistic adaptation. Now, there's a trick to scratching this itch of a human condition, and it's to actively plan out experiences that throw off the pattern. So why don't you try it for yourself?
So I do like kind of the interesting point that he's talking about here is kind of getting yourself off of autopilot and kind of intentionally disrupting what you're normally doing. Even if you kind of consistently do those same random acts, or they're not even random at that point, they're just your routine acts of kindness. At that point, it can feel less fulfilling. Now, and we can get into this in another show. There was a book I read that talked about kind of how that the egotistical nature of us, that when we do random acts of kindness, we do it more for ourselves. And that's not always a bad thing, because you still are doing a nice thing for other people, but sometimes your ego kind of gets in the way. But once again, we can talk about that in another video, because I got a whole book I read on that. And it's a good book. It makes sense. But so if you're really just trying to make yourself feel better and change up your motivation, you can change it up a little bit. But understand that if you're constantly helping different people, they don't notice the pattern. They don't notice the routine. They don't notice that the feeling that gives you. But if you're talking about the motivation to keep doing it, well, then that's what we're talking about here. And so, as we mentioned before, your meaning comes from the effort, not from the convenience. Because the longer you do something, it does just become another kind of part of who you are. So up the game a little bit. Find something else to do, even if you only do it once or very intermittently. Right? Check it out. So our final reflective question as we kind of close out today's video: what routine in your life could use a deliberate interruption? Think about that. What routine? Is it the time spent doom scrolling on your phone, which we talk a lot of on this channel, mindlessly just watching television, or not doing much of anything that could be best spent on time with family, friends, or complete strangers doing these acts of kindness? All right. That'll wrap up today's video segment. We're going to head back over to the Wheel of Wellness. We got a few things left over there we're going to finish up. And yeah, we're going to get on out of here. We're having fun. We're going to finish out the rest of our weekend strong. I got to get up early. Got to head to Bridgeport tomorrow. Chaney's got a tournament down in Bridgeport all day. So should be a fun one. It'll be a long one, but I hope he enjoys it. All right, we're going to do Rubik's Mania. Let me switch over to the overhead camera. We're going to try to... We'll set the timer to see if we can beat our best time on this. And, yeah. Our best time thus far has been 1:22. Or was it 1:21? I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever beat that. Until I get a speed cube, I can only go so fast on this thing. Because if I go too fast, it feels like it's going to break. But once we get going, we're not too bad with it. I do enjoy it. It's fun. We've been doing it for quite a while now, and I've gotten pretty good at it. And it's just like any other game. I know some people are kind of amazed, like, how do you do that? Once you figure out the patterns, the algorithms, it's really not that hard. I'm not trying to undersell it, but I'm also not trying to oversell it like I'm some genius. It's just a game, just like anything else. There it is. We got our yellow cross on top. And do we have any sides that are matched up? Doesn't look like it. So there we go. And we're good to go. Just finish up our last few moves here, and we'll be done our Rubik's Cube. We'll definitely get in under 2 minutes. And one more move, and And 1 minute and 37 seconds. That was good. That's one of our better times we've had recently. We've been getting closer to closer to like 150 lately, so we're definitely improving our time. But I really enjoy doing enjoy doing that. All right, let's see what we got next. Only got a few things left. Wellness rap battle. We usually get this done early, but today's just a little bit later. We're doing some music stuff to finish out the night here. Like I said, I don't know if we'll be able to do Bargain Bin Boombox. We'll see though. So let's pull up Nova and yeah, see if she's ready to bat. ChatGPT's being a little slow over here. Today, Junior, her voice feature was hardly working the other day. She would work for one segment and then I'd go to pull her up and she wasn't working for another segment. Welcome back, Nova. We're back for our last segment with you for the day. This is our wellness rap battle. I'm gonna get us started and yeah, let's do this thing. We're gonna do 3 rounds each. So we say be kind, yeah, that's the vibe, but only if it fits our schedule and our drive. Doors held open, check that box, we're done. Then wonder why happiness didn't come.
All right, let's do this. Love the vibe you started with. I'll jump in for round 1. You say plan it out, and I say that's fine, because kindness on the calendar still counts as kind. A little intention keeps the good deed steady. No need to wait till the mood's just right. Hey, your turn for round 2.
All right, I like it. Round 2, we drip feed kindness 1 drop at a time per day. But the brain adapts, the feeling simply fades away. Kind acts hit hard and slow, turns out a little effort makes the feelings grow.
All right, I feel that rhythm. Let's keep it going for round 2. We pace out the kindness like we're on a slow train, but sometimes you need a burst to rewire the brain. Batch those good deeds, let them shine in a cluster, and watch how that effort makes joy really muster. Now let's bring it home with round 3.
Nice. Round 3, last round. We fear the weird, the pause, the stare, but connections actually live in there. Kindness costs more than we expect, but that cost is merely where our joy connects.
Oh, that's a strong finish. Let's wrap it up with my round 3. We sidestep the odd looks, the double take glance, but maybe that's the spark that gives kindness a chance. A little bit of awkward is a fair enough price, because on the other side, there's a moment that's nice. And that's a wrap on the rap battle.
Nice.
That was awesome.
All right, thanks, Nova. Nova, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you next time. All right. That was fun. Let's see what we got next. We got Daily Devotional, Karaoke Chaos, and Bargain Bin Boombox. We'll see what we got next. And looks like we got our Daily Devotional. So I forgot, we will pull Nova back into this part. Pull Nova in for our Daily Devotional. I'm going to get to the right page. Ba-boom. What is today's date? 17th? Yeah, today's 17th. All right. All right, Nova, we're back for our last segment with you for the day, our daily devotional. I'm going to read from my devotional, and I want you to kind of help us interpret its meaning, as well as kind of applying it to today's theme. To come to me with a thankful heart, so that you can enjoy my presence. This is the day that I have made. I want you to rejoice today, refusing to worry about tomorrow. Search for all that I have prepared for you, anticipating abundant blessings and accepting difficulties as they come. I can weave miracles into the most mundane day if you keep your focus on me. Come to me with all your needs, knowing that my glorious riches are a more than adequate supply. Stay in continual communication with me so that you can live above your circumstances even while you are in the midst of them. Present your request to me with thanksgiving, and my peace, which surpasses all comprehension, will guard your heart and mind.
Absolutely. Let's dive into that. It's a beautiful passage, and it really does tie in nicely with our theme today. So at its core, this devotional is about approaching life with a heart full of gratitude and staying present in the moment. rather than getting tangled up in worries about what's coming next. It's basically saying, hey, if you approach each day with thankfulness and trust, you'll find little miracles in your everyday stuff, even when it's not all sunshine and roses. Now, tying that back to our theme of random acts of kindness, it's kind of the same mindset. When we focus on being present and open-hearted, those small, kind moments become a lot easier to notice and act on. It's like being in that mindset of gratitude and trust helps us see those opportunities to be kind and to bring a little light into someone else's day. And it also means not getting too caught up in whether it's awkward or worrying about tomorrow. It's just about doing the bit you can today. So, in a nutshell, it's all about that presence and gratitude, making kindness feel a lot more natural and a lot less like a to-do list.
So kind of like doing the right thing for the right reason, not necessarily because of the internal motivation or the internal feeling that you get from it, just knowing that you did something that made someone else's day a little bit better.
Exactly. You got it. It's like shifting the focus from how does this make me feel to I'm just going to do this because it's a good thing to do. And it's less about chasing that internal reward and more about just letting kindness flow naturally. And in a way that ties back to the devotional's idea of being present, grateful, and not overthinking the outcome. It's just about doing the right thing for the right reason. Exactly like you said.
All right. Thanks, Nova. We'll talk to you next time. All right. I'm not even going to spin the wheel of wellness. Let me see if Singify's up. Because it probably is. Yeah, the site can't be reached. Yeah. That's really bad. That's the second time that's happened. And then, like I said, there's a couple other times that that happened. I like to make a song every episode, especially one we can kind of tie. I'll try to remember we'll make a song and then I'll just pick one. Because I do like making the songs on here. And I do listen to them. I don't listen to them all the time, but I do listen to them. We get some pretty good bangers we make on here. So, all right. So we're going to wrap it up. And what a better way to wrap it up than with some karaoke chaos. Today's a good song. This is one of my... I won't say it's one of my favorite songs, but it's definitely a really good song. I couldn't really find one that tied to today's theme that we hadn't already done. So I picked another really popular song from the 70s of his. You may have heard it. This is called Indian Sunset. So in fact, the karaoke version I have on here is actually just him, but they've taken out his voice. So we'll tell you what, I'll share my screen. You guys can see it and you can kind of follow along with us. As I woke this evening with the smell of wood smoke clinging, like a gentle cobweb hanging upon a painted teepee. Oh, I went to see my chieftain with my war lance and my woman, for he told us that the yellow moon was very soon be leaving. This I can't believe, I said, I can't believe our warlord's dead. Oh, we would not leave the chosen ones to the buzzards and the soldiers' guns. Oh, great father of the Iroquois, ever since I was young, I've read the writing of the smoke and breastfed on the sound of drums. I learned to hurl the tomahawk and ride a painted pony wild, to run the gauntlet of the Sioux, to make a chieftain's daughter mine. And now you ask that I should watch the red man's race be slowly crushed. What kind of words are these to hear from yellow dog whom white man fears? Oh, I take only what is mine, Lord. My pony, my squaw, and my child. I can't stay to see you die. Along with my tribe's pride, gotta search for the yellow moon and the corners of our sun, where the red sun sings in the hills of gold and the healing waters run. Trampling down the prairie roads, leaving hoof tracks in the sand. Those who wish to follow me, I welcome with my hands. I heard from passing renegades, Geronimo was dead. He'd been laying down his weapons when they filled him full of land. Now there seems no reason why I should carry on in this land that once was my land. I can't find a home. It's lonely and it's quiet, and the horse soldiers are coming. And I think it's time I strung my bow and ceased my senseless running. But soon I'll find the yellow moon along with my loved ones, where the buffaloes graze in clover fields without the sound of guns, and the red sun sinks at last into the hills of gold. And peace to this young warrior comes with a bullet. All right, that was Indian Sunset by Sir Elton John. All right. Good song, good song. I forgot that song had a couple high marks. I should have practiced before we went on. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up with our final thoughts. Go ahead and get on out of here. Another fun episode. Small turnout, but that's all right. We're over here having fun. We're going to keep growing. So definitely tell your friends, tell everybody you know about Bargain Brand Wellness. See if they can come over here and be part of the wellness crew. We're looking to grow in 2026. All right, let's get our final thoughts and we'll get on out of here. Kindness doesn't fail because we don't care. It fails because we underestimate what it costs to break our routines. The goal isn't to be nicer, but to understand why effort and discomfort are part of what makes connection meaningful. Pay attention to the pause next time kindness crosses your mind. Until next time, notice where hesitation shows up before the connection does. And as always, make it worth your wellness. All right. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. We will be back. Like I said, we'll probably do Tuesday, Thursday. We'll have to see. I think Channing has a game Thursday. Maybe we'll do Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't usually like doing back-to-back streams, but I will because I don't really like skipping. I like to try to keep 3 episodes per week as well. No, I need to go to Bridgeport. Channing's doing this football, so I don't think he has anything next Sunday. So I'll probably be at church next Sunday. Yeah, I'll be in Bridgeport all day tomorrow, unfortunately. So, yeah. So anyway, so appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. And until next time, y'all know what to do. Make it worth your wellness. Love y'all.
Make it with your wellness, every breath you take. Turn your burnout into a big remake. Make it with your wellness, don't fade away. You're healing, and that's okay.